Episode 1: The Father of History. The 4th century BC. A world ruled not by facts, but by myths. When thunder rolled across the sky, people said the gods are angry. When famine struck, they whispered, the gods are punishing us. Empires rose, kings ruled, and people lived and died believing that destiny was shaped only by divine will. But then came a man who dared to ask, is it really the gods who decide everything, or is it man who writes his own fate? That man was Herodotus. Baby, a curious beginning. Herodotus was born in Halicarnassus, in today's Turkey. From childhood, he was restless with curiosity. He loved listening to old stories, of kings, of wars, of heroes and traitors. But unlike others, he would ask, is this true? That question never left him. Globe showing Europe-Africa, a journey across the ancient world. As a young man, Herodotus set out to see the world with his own eyes, not only to travel across lands, but across the boundaries of memory, myth, and history. He journeyed to Egypt. There along the Great Nile, he saw temples rising like mountains of stone. Priests told him tales of pharaohs who ruled as if they were gods themselves. He learned that the Nile was not just a river. It was the very lifeline of Egypt, its breath and its soul. He traveled to Persia, the greatest empire of its time. He saw the palaces of Darius and Xerxes, glittering with wealth and authority. But behind the grandeur, he noticed whispers of intrigue, betrayal, and ambition. He recorded both the glory and the corruption. He reached Babylon, a city of wonders with its walls, temples, and markets overflowing with life. And in Athens, he witnessed the spirit of democracy, where ordinary citizens debated freedom, power, and justice. Everywhere he went, Herodotus listened. To kings and priests, to merchants and soldiers, to common men and women. Writing hand collecting stories. Herodotus did not just seek battles and conquests. He sought the heart of humanity. He wrote of victories, but also of defeats, of courage, but also of fear, of loyalty, but also of treachery, of love, and the tragedies that love sometimes brings. Some of these stories were facts, some were half-truths, and some were myths, told and retold across generations. But Herodotus understood something important. Even myths reveal the truth about people, their hopes, their fears, and their dreams. Open book, the Histories, a treasure of humanity. Finally, he wove all these tales into a single monumental work, the Histories. It was not just a record of dates and kings. It was the first attempt to understand human history, to ask why things happened, not just that they happened. Within its pages lie the mysteries of Egypt, the might of Persia, the pride of Greece, and the grandeur of Babylon. It is filled with ambition, betrayal, love, war, and the eternal struggle of mankind. This was not mere history. It was, and still is, a living story. Crown legacy, the father of history. For this, the world remembers Herodotus as open book, the father of history. And so begins our journey. Through his eyes, we will walk the streets of ancient cities, stand in the courts of kings, and sail across seas of both truth and legend.